Something that don't seem to happen very often nowadays. Cataclysm news. For the last 24 hours, we've found out a couple of things. I suppose, firstly, and most importantly, we should start with Firelands is going to be on the PTR. Now, we know for a fact there's going to be 2 rounds of PTR, so this will be 2 separate weekends. And we now know when the first weekend is, and that first weekend is this weekend. So if you want to experience some of the bosses before they hit the live servers, or you and your guild want to go and practice, on the 13th of September, so this Friday, Firelands will open at 1 PM PDT, and it will be open until Monday, September the 16th. Now, there's a few things we don't know about this. We don't know whether it's going to be pre-nerf or post-nerf. People's opinions differ on that massively, and I don't want to get into it too much in this video, but if you're the sort of person that browses through Wowpedia, then firstly, you're as sad as I am, and secondly, it's quite tough to actually find what the post-nerf values was of Firelands, but I've found a historic blue post where they actually detail exactly what happened. So I'm assuming we're going to get a post-nerf state, and if that's the case, it's going to be the same as what we got with tier 11. Apart from, this will affect heroic as well, which is probably the thing that people won't like. So during Firelands originally, around 4.2.2, the health and damage was reduced by a flat 15% basically across all heroic bosses except for Ragnaros, but those nerfs did come later, but still in Cataclysm. Ragnaros had his health reduced, his damage reduced, and add damage was reduced, and there was even a mechanic that was removed completely. The issue is, with post-nerf, it's the same issue that we've had with tier 11, where there is a drastic difference between normal and heroic. And I know that might sound a bit stupid, but normal is really easy, like LFR levels of easy, let's be honest. Whereas heroic is then a huge step up, like it's just drastically different. And that's because we got tier 11 with all of the nerfs to the normal bosses, but there weren't, outside of tuning, massive nerfs to health and damage in heroic, because there never was back in the day. So the same thing happens with Firelands, where Shanox, Beftalak, Rylith, all their health and damage is reduced even on normal. Ragnaros had like 25% health reduction on normal and massive amounts of damage reduction. So we're going to have that issue again where Firelands normal is going to be really, really easy, but then the step up to heroic, even if we got heroic post-nerf, it's still going to be just a massive, massive difference. So I don't know how I feel about that. Now, they've done this because hardly anyone was able to actually kill Ragnaros heroic back then, so they wanted to try and make sure as many guilds had the opportunity to be able to kill Ragnaros heroic before Dragon Soul launched. So this didn't actually come in with Dragon Soul. This came in when Firelands was still current content. So I kind of feel that this is probably the version of the bosses that we're going to get, and I'm kind of okay with it on the basis that I don't really expect Firelands to be current content in Classic for very long. But the other news that's come out recently, or again in the last 24 hours, is Blizzard have listened. Now, whether they actually came up with this idea themselves or they got it from my Molten Front video, I'm still going to claim credit for it, I don't care. But they are launching the Molten Front early. So on 17th of September, so next week, the Molten Front's going to be available. Now, the reason this is a big deal is because it takes around 30 days to do the entire Molten Front from start to finish, so to unlock all the vendors. If you want to know more about the Molten Front, you can check this video out here where I give an overview. It's not like in-depth going over every quest or anything like that, because honestly, they're not complicated enough to warrant it, but it'll give you a good idea of what's to come. I will link that at the end of the video as well. But on the basis that we know we're going to have 2 rounds of PTR, it could be this week and next weekend, and then possibly a couple of weeks for them to make tweaks and changes, and then it'll actually launch. So it should probably be around the time that you complete the Molten Front as when Ragnaros is going to arrive. I don't know why I said Ragnaros and didn't just say Firelands, but whatever. I'm really tired. I've been smashing too much retail in the last 24 hours. The other nice little thing that's going to be added as well is the kicking your graphics up a notch. So the update will also include a way for players to turn on the high definition textures as an option. Now, it doesn't look massively different, but you will remember if you watched any of my videos during the Cataclysm beta that this was obviously on the beta, but just didn't work. You'd turn it on, it'd do nothing. So it's nice to see they are actually getting around to changing and implementing some of these things. Now, where's the heroic plus dungeons? But if you enjoyed the video, because that is all I've got for you, be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.